All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the program. Wow, it's March the 23rd of 2024. Before we know it, it's going to be the hot summer. Before we know it, it will be the fall and then winter, and then the year will start all over. But that way, we thank God for our lives. We thank God for your lives. For your life. Please, thank you for joining us. As usual, help us to share and like and all those things that we need to do to get this across to our people. The job is going on. Our
Yes.
work is, producing the desired effect. So we are extremely excited. We thank those that stand with the truth, no matter what, right? Because we don't go a little to the left, a
Mm-mm.
little to the right. Where we need our kwanya, it will have to small wonderful. How we see a little to the left.
Yes, Alice is joining you to so a little to the left, a little to the right.
Which sector are we going to? A little to the left, a little to we are not. I could get it bomb.
Yes,
I could get
yes,
it bomb.
yes.
Auto, get it here now. We're auto, marine, no.
Eh?
So we are here. We are standing here because we are working with the truth, and
Mm-hmm.
the truth will always remain constant. So
Yes,
whether you lack the ability to accept truth, you're jumping in the forest, you're lying to yourself, my dear Gidiba. When you wake up in the morning, when we say it's white, it's going to remain white.
yes,
So you running around, acting crazy, praying, bara, 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 doing all manner of stuff. When you come back, it will still be white.
yes.
So thank you for joining us. Let me allow my sister to add while we pull up the video of the day. And um, yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much, wonderful truth seekers. You're here because you're seeking truth and you want to stand by truth. So we commend you. If you're seeing this video for the first time, we say congratulations. You have just stumbled on one of the most important videos you need to get things right in Africa. My name is Epi. My sister's name is Mona Chinswaga, and we are here in US and the land of the free, they say. So we want to spread the freedom all over the world. Yeah, freedom is what everyone needs. The video my sister is going to pull up, it's what is happening in francophone for people to understand how they are moving, because when Berlin Conference happened, whatever evil they did there in 1884, 85, it's the entire Africa. So already our brothers and sisters in Francophone are moving. Are moving. The youth there are moving. They are not waiting for Nigeria to wake up from their slumber. They are moving. So when we play that, we'll play other videos, tell you what is happening in Nigeria, connect dots for you so that you'll be part of the people that are moving. Thank you so much.
Imposed strict sanctions on Niger following the coup in July 2023. Did the member countries who agreed to this ever consider that these sanctions would result in the deaths of thousands of Nigerians? Perhaps they didn't think about it, or
Anywhere
maybe
here,
they didn't care,
Nigerians is
believing that the
Nigerians.
economic hardships
So
caused
from Niger. So don't get it confused and think they're talking about Nigerians. So he's talking about Nigerians, because that's how they brought confusion. Nigeria. So when he's mentioned Nigeria, it's not Nigerians. It's talking about Niger, people from Niger.
Nigerians, yes, Nigerians.
Nigerians. So that's what he's talking about, so they don't get it confused. When he's talking about anything that affecting Nigeria, he's talking about ECOWAS. So when he mentions ECOWAS, so the contention is between ECOWAS, those are still the puppets of the colonial masters, and then the new confederation that are trying to bring out in Africa, that's Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. So Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. That's what this is going on. So listen while you share. Thank you.
by the sanctions would pressure the military government into returning power to the deposed President Mohamed Bazoum. Unfortunately for ECOWAS, this strategy didn't work, and the military government in Niger has actually become stronger, gaining the support of Nigerians. But the main issue here is how a regional bloc that is supposed to support its members can take an action that not only causes economic hardships in a member country, but also leads to the deaths of thousands of its citizens. Where is the solidarity and African unity in all of this? It shouldn't be surprising, though, because as Ibrahim Traoré recently stated in an interview, ECOWAS has strayed from the principles set by its founding members and has become a puppet for foreign countries. The regional bloc is now comprised of weak African presidents, led by a weak puppetry chairman, President Bola Tinubu, who only cares about taking actions to demonstrate that ECOWAS is not weak. What he fails to realize is that his actions have exposed the puppetry and incompetence of the current state of the regional bloc. This is why Captain Ibrahim Traoré has come forward to issue a stern warning directly to Nigerian President Bola Tinubu and reprimand him for the severe repercussions his actions have had on the people of Niger. During an address to a gathering of the Citizens Vigil Committee, Captain Traoré delivered scathing remarks to President Tinubu. He highlighted that ECOWAS, under Tinubu's leadership, bears responsibility for the deaths of thousands of Nigerians due to the sanctions imposed on Niger. Captain Traoré explained that the loss of lives was a result of inadequate electricity and medicine in hospitals. Recall that as part of the sanctions imposed on Niger, electricity provided to the country from Nigeria was shut down, and the borders were closed. However, according to President Traoré, these sanctions have not dampened the fighting spirit of the Nigerian people. The president then proceeded to highlight the strength of Niger's military, emphasizing its history of combat and resilience. He asserted that the Nigerian army is not just for show or peacekeeping, it is battle-hardened. In his own words, President Traoré questioned, "Do you think there are weak men in Niger? There are fighters over there. The Nigerian army is warlike. They have been fighting for years. It's not an army parade or a peacekeeping army." President Traoré further stated that the armies of the Alliance of Sahel states are united and prepared to confront the ECOWAS forces that were supposed to be on standby. He expressed his outrage at the thousands of Nigerians who died in hospitals due to lack of electricity or medicine, describing it as a crime. He held ECOWAS responsible for these sanctions and their resulting deaths. Traoré criticized ECOWAS for its ineffective response to the suffering of the people, accusing the organization of neglecting international laws and violating agreements. He pointed out the detrimental effects of sanctions, particularly on Mali and Niger, highlighting the manipulation of energy supply as a means to incite unrest. The closure of seaports to landlocked countries was mentioned as a violation of international laws. Despite these issues, there has been no response from the international community or ECOWAS. Furthermore, Traoré condemned the actions of African leaders, likening them to useless and incompetent politicians for their failure to prioritize the welfare of their citizens. He specifically called out Ivory Coast President Alassane Ouattara for cutting off electricity to Mali in 2022, resulting in higher costs for Ivorian citizens. However, President Traoré observed that ECOWAS' retraction of electricity in Mali only served to strengthen the people's support for their new junta government. In his own words, he stated that ECOWAS attempted to make Mali suffer by cutting off their electricity supply, hoping that the population would revolt. However, this strategy did not work, as some were compelled to pass on the burden to their own people by increasing the cost of electricity.
Of course, it will not work. We are now in a recognition as to who is our enemy and who is our friend. So it's no brainer. The people are supporting the new government, whether you like them or not. But at least they are not in tandem with the terrorist group that the so-called British enterprise and their cohorts are pretending that they are working on, right? Because they always tell us, "Oh yeah, we're here. If you kick us out, to terrorists will take over," whereas they are the terrorists. So we know better. I will pull up the next video.
So if you watch that to the end, because we'll post it, and I think it was going around also, you will hear when they were talking about confederation, because We tried to do that in Nigeria, but the colonial monsters came and destroyed that. When you have so much diversity, you must have a form of structure that will make the people to have access to their resources, and so that you can take power close to the people, take government, security, everything close to the people. So Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, they are moving ahead of ECOWAS, and they're not waiting for ECOWAS because their people have suffered. This is why we are telling our people, we are not waiting for these stooges, these colonial stooges, to come and tell us what to do. We are the people. We are the owners of the lands and the assets and the people that are killed. So we are moving ahead. My sister is pulling up another one. This one is talking about the constitution that we told you. You remember in Francophone, they had what did they call it? A post-colonial document, one document like that. I've forgotten what they called it. That's what they had to bring down before they now began their renegotiation and other things they want to do. It's the same thing here. Listen to what this man has to say about your 1999 constitution, the imposed military colonial constitution. We'll continue to share and like, please. Thank you.
Republic of Nigeria. That is such a gross violation of the Trade Descriptions Act. There's nothing federal about Nigeria. It's a unitary government because it is driven entirely by all the powers at the center. Who did that? It was the army. Mm-hmm. And progressively between 1966 and today, they just kind of moved the powers away from the regions and concentrated everything in the center because that's how we think. Mm-hmm. We run a unified chain of command. Mm-hmm. As a divisional commander, you can't have 3 brigade commanders who are entirely independent doing their own thing. It's just not going to happen. So what we have at the moment is a central holding company called the federal government with 36 subsidiary companies, all of whom are entirely dependent on the holding company. We describe ourselves
Please continue to share, like, and subscribe so that this information can go out to more people. They need it, and it's important because in the days ahead, things will move so quickly that if you don't understand the conversation going on, you'll be lost. You'll be lost. So it's important that you share this so that people we can see people are getting it. So let's do more. So this is now Nina's video. So it listens to the details and the way the processes. Thank you.
In response to the flurry of inquiries that have been coming to NINAS Secretariat concerning where we are in what we set out to do with constitutional force majeure, here's our response. Here's our answer. You will recall that the stated objective, the ground objective of the constitutional force majeure in the attempt to implement the consensus we had built against the constitution of death was to target the election as the venue for the fight for what will happen, to target that 2023 election in a manner that will collapse the election in circumstances that revolve around the constitution itself. That's we are rejecting the election on account of our rejection of that constitution and the unitary union of death it imposes on us in that order. Look at this domino 2, and if we back pedal to domino 1, you will see clearly coming from your right towards the left, you see the pillar we marked election, the next pillar constitution, the next pillar union. And underneath the pillar of election, you will see the lever of the alliance, the three blocks, focusing their efforts together. You see the arrow that they press, they pressure together in one direction to topple the election as a mark of their rejection of the constitution that make them, slaves in their homeland. Our report today is that that strategic objective has been met. You may argue as you deem fit amongst those who do not know how such things are done. Those who were expecting people to, because when people heard about force majeure, they thought there would be riot on the street. The system was already sharpening its machete to behead people who are coming to do. They didn't know it was a very sophisticated thing that will put election in disarray. And we were saying it every day for 3 years. You see, this election, we'll do whatever we need to do to sabotage it from producing an outcome that will stand. And that is a mark of our rejection of the constitution by which the winner of that election will govern. And when that constitution goes down from the angle it will be attacked, then we'll come to the realization that we have no union. That union that is erected upon that constitution will go down with that constitution. Where are we today? The election went as badly as it could go, such that the system had to sacrifice the constitution to save the election. That was what the Supreme Court did in October of 2023. That was what INEC was doing at the time they were declaring the one who didn't win the election. They both waived the 25% required by that. It was the pressure from all the sides that they were just trying to rescue something from, because the people had woken up. Everybody was now doing things they would normally not have done before. And so bottom line is that the election went into a spin. The system had to sacrifice the constitution to save the election. And then we're interpreting their actions to them now. The union is at an end because the constitution that held it together, you buried it. Remember in the broadcast where we were telling them that if they chose to waive that 25%, it means that that constitution which we have been trying to put to death has now been abandoned to die on the street by the Supreme Court, and we're going to join them. We are joining them. Where we're going now is that we're going to demonstrate that there's no union. And if anybody is wondering how we came to that conclusion, the National Assembly that wants to write a new constitution has only confirmed to all of you that the constitution by which we have been operating, by which we have been unionized against our will, is dead. That's why they're looking for a new one.
Yep.
If the constitution was still alive, they would be doing their amendment and boasting. And so the strategic objective for the constitutional force majeure, look at it. Election down, constitution down, union down. The only thing remaining now, transition to go and rework the union in terms of who wants to federate. They will identify themselves by referendum. Then they will define the formations in which they are going to relate. That's what becomes the structure, whether they want to be in 4 regions or 6 regions or whatever be the formation, but certainly not 36 states. For the lunatics that are talking about carving out more of this, we are the vanguard of the campaign. NINAS is the vanguard framework for the campaign for self-determination for the constituent companies, meaning that little Isoko, little Ogun, little Ishekiri, all of them will be, in their space in that self-determination. They will be custodians and operators of their sovereignty. So to that extent, we will say confidently that Nigeria has been brought to where we wanted it to land. A logjam, a constitutional logjam. If anybody thinks that what happened on February 25 in 2023 has become basis for a 4-year presidential term that will not be challenged by anything. No, the election ended inconclusive. The outcome remains the interregnum. What you are celebrating as a president is, yes, there's somebody in government house pretending to be Nigeria's president, but the Supreme Court will not place itself. We will not allow, since the right to make constitution is exclusive to the sovereign constituent components, and we have laid a charge against the legitimacy of the constitution that was imposed on us. Nobody is able to make constitution and impose on us, including the one Absalom Abaka did. And so, if we are tolerating that for us to get peacefully to the table of discussion, and then the Supreme Court, that is a product of that constitution, will now abandon that constitution and place itself above the prescriptions of that constitution, we are the ones saying, let's take down this constitution. But until we get to that discussion table, we also said it in that our force majeure, let those who have not read that constitutional force majeure, for their own good, for their own sake, their ignorance will only afflict them, will only cause them to perish, like the Bible already condemned them. Because we stated clearly why we are saying what we are saying and why we are going to do what we are doing, what we are going to do. We said clearly that if after all the consultations we can't find common ground, then we will step forward to where we reconsider our allegiance to that constitution. What is the meaning of a reconsideration of allegiance? Go and read the operative part. If you can't read all, read the operative part, where that 5-point proposition, were listed, from the word accordingly downwards, from the word accordingly. When you are reading some charter or some kind of resolution, when you come to the word accordingly, pay attention, because that is now the action that will follow from all of what has been laid out. And so we are saying that the constitutional force majeure succeeded 100% in its objectives in bringing Nigeria to that constitutional logjam. We are not at war. I think there's confusion, but at least we are still discussing. It's still being discussed. It may not be in a round table setting. There are people sitting in Abuja and talking over our heads about what they're going to do. There are others sitting or standing in Civic Center in Lagos saying, you must now call a meeting of the sovereign constituent components, who will have to decide how to reconfigure their union. And if they can't get it, if for any reason they are not able to find common ground, we must disperse forthwith. That is where the discussion is going on everywhere. But NINAS is trying to bring it to where it can produce an outcome. What is that outcome? Successor protocols. Whether as one political union or independent units of successor sovereign state entities that will emerge from the defunct Federation of Nigeria. There's a country we still call Nigeria, but it's no longer a project.
Nope.
The federation we agreed upon in Lancaster House died in 1966. Those who hijacked the carcass, waving the Nigerian flag and singing Nigerian anthem, as if the hood makes the monk. Even if you force little children or everybody that you can control to sing this anthem 10 times every day as a matter of recitation and recite the pledge, how does that become replacement for what is supposed to be the social contract? For what is supposed to be the social contract, the constitution that I have to agree with you on how we unionize, how we federate. It doesn't replace it. And shame on all of those who gather to sing the falsehood and recite the falsehood. Every stanza. Arise, O compatriots. Who are those compatriots? The Buhari that is leading his people, his Fulani people, to come to kill everybody else? Then we go and pretend that is our compatriot. Or the ones who are sitting in Abuja and sharing trillions while watching the citizens die on the street. from hunger. They are not my compatriots. Anybody who can swear to defend and uphold this abomination, that take life from me, that point guns at me, that seize my economic assets, is not my compatriot. Especially if he subscribes to any worldview that requires him to kill me, like the ones who are doing Sharia. They are not my compatriots at all. Nigerians call obey a monster. Look at the ones who have been obeying that monster. Look at how their lives are turned. To serve Nigeria with all your strength. Oh, I pledge to Nigeria, my country. Are you serious? Why are there agitations all over the place? Why have you not gone to a referendum to defeat that agitation? I pledge to Nigeria, my country. You know for sure that if there are 100 people in the room, there could be more than 95 that are cursing at that Nigeria as you are reciting all together. So you decide to lie to yourself. You build your country on a pile of lies that begins with we the people having committed to live together. How can we sustain this lie any further? That pile of lies, the NINAS is leading the charge to dismantle that pile of lies. In that dismantling, first we remove violence, because we persuaded all of those who were pointing guns at everybody to say, including government, here's how we can solve it. We put a process step by step to it. We have identified the units all across. There's no portion of Nigeria left out in terms of discussions, consensus, and what exactly has to change. NINAS is the only group that has placed in black and white on the table. I want us to listen carefully. That has placed on the table exactly what is wrong in clear description. Exactly what has to be done in clear description. Exactly who has to do it in clear description. How it can all be done in terms of sequence. The 5-point proposition of the NINAS constitutional force majeure settles this. Every other talk about let's go restructure, let's go to 1963. The ones who are saying let's go back to 1963, have you asked yourself where that will leave the middle belt? Or even the minorities of the East, so-called, the Jordan and the Efik, there was an incomplete decolonization. The minorities were left in the belly of the majority ethnic groups. In the north, the middle belt left in the belly of the caliphate. In the east, the minorities left in the belly of the majority Igbo. In the west, if not for 1963, where they were chasing Awolowo around to divide his kingdom, middle belt would still have been, Midwest will have still been in the belly of majority Yoruba, Western region. These are the kind of things. The British have gone away. Why will it be impossible for us, 63 years after? This is 64th year. Why will it be impossible for us to sit down and work out what was not done? We saw what transpired in Lancaster House. Why will it take mischief to begin to grant everybody what they wanted in discussion that was not given to them? So on the day of trouble, you go and cut out the Midwest to beat down Awolowo. On the day of Biafra declaration, you go and cut off the eastern minorities that wanted their, a region of their own. Why didn't you grant it? Why didn't Willings Commission, grant it to them at the time? Who knows what will happen now in the middle belt that they will say, okay, let's go and do this and do that. So all those shenanigans will lead nowhere. The ones who want to go and do state police, you want to give guns to these governors we have seen in this manner, instead of going to where, what is arms and ammunition doing on the exclusive list in a federation? The governors will be more than happy to take up guns. You of course know who they are going to face face with those guns. Their political opponents will become the new criminals in town. What you call state police, what is wrong in settling this matter? There's no piecemeal approach to this matter that will take you anywhere. You go and create state police. Where's the money to finance? Because the economic assets are still in the hands of that illicit federal government. Where would the Niger Delta get the money to finance what it will take to have a police service, a police force that can police their kind of environment? When you are still holding on to the economic assets, you are holding the one of everybody, federal government. So if you go and create state police in the manner you are approaching it now, ad hoc, knee-jerk, you are going to give guns. You saw what happened to the East ESN in the so-called ESN in the East. You give guns to people, you are not going to be able, because you don't have the economic resources you require to be able to finance. And if you have police and the source of the crimes are not addressed, is that the solution to the problem? You don't want to work out electricity that will encourage production. You don't want to provide the other things that will become basis of engaging your populace to do things that will enhance their lives. You want to go and point guns at them so that you can get to the next election and get to become senator and get more people to protect you from the people who you are ruining their lives under this constitution. All those things will fail. And once you give out those guns, the opponents that these governors are going to be chasing around, look, just close your eye and take a random look around and see what these states as we have them were not created to advance the interests of the populace. It's just a matter of network of political settlements. You hold this one there, you hold this one, council area, not for development, not for any kind of provision of any service to anybody. It's just sharing of money, stakeholdership, and permanent agency. You once you come in, you have come in. You finish as governor, you go and be minister. You finish as minister, you go to Senate. The ones who were in Senate will come down to go. Just, a gang of determined criminals. And I use the word criminal advisedly. Anybody who is prepared to swear to defend and uphold this fraud is a criminal, the worst type of criminal. There's no thief that is more guilty of any crime than any one person, whether it's council chairman or his governor or his president, that is prepared to swear to defend and uphold this falsehood that is destroying the lives of over 200 million people. Rendering black.
All right, we'll stop the video here. We'll post the video in its entirety on our Facebook page. I just still don't know why our people are not getting this information that we're sharing, especially those struggling with it. Our people are getting it anyway from the feedback, and from those that are still struggling with it, I just don't understand how it's okay for millions of people to be dying in poverty, and you're not looking for a change that is truly foundational. Before we get started, of course, we want to mention about justice, because a lot of our people, because of your wickedness and your lack of whatever you want to call it, when you see injustice anywhere, as long as you're okay to watch it happen to somebody else. Until it comes knocking on your door, then it will begin to make sense. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Do not wait until it comes knocking on your door before you begin to make sense. In order for us to have a thriving society, we must be able to speak the truth. We must back those that are speaking the truth. We must always uphold the truth, because if you allow it to change and wiggle, it will change and also wiggle. So we don't want that. So for those of you holding other people accountable when you have not held yourself accountable, shame on you. We must always strive to do the right things. All right, let's jump to our topic. NINA's proposition for a new constitutional order takes the center stage. And we'll be preparing you guys for this. Last week, we told you that now that the so-called National Assembly is accepting that the constitution needs to be amended, is the meaning that they have agreed that constitutional is faulty, that the constitutional doesn't work for us. They have agreed. And what we want you, the people to do is to agree with NINAS, not with the criminals. Well, not with those that have been are disagreeing. There's nothing going on. They want you to carry on and being a Nigerian and participating in politics and following who you want to follow and think you're going to make a change. And we're telling you that no change will come. Not even Jesus Christ of Nazareth, not even Allah will change your situation if this constitution is not decommissioned. If this constitution is not decommissioned, your suffering will not change. Your dollar currency to naira will not change. None of that will change. The only thing that will change is that your pastor will hype you up some more, and your religious leaders, they will hype you up some more and take some more money from you. Nigeria is in a conundrum. The 1999 Constitution lacks legitimacy and cannot be amended because it is beyond repair. Nigeria is in a conundrum. The 1999 Constitution lacks legitimacy and cannot be amended because it is beyond repair. So do not let anyone send you a link, send you any information in the name of friendship, sisterhood, brotherhood, neighborhood, whatever, to tell you, oh, bring your what is it called, comments, bring your whatever, so that we can go and change and amend the constitution. For the last time, you cannot amend a fraud unless if you're a criminal, which I guess a lot of you, you guys have turned into criminals. You cannot amend a fraud unless if you're a criminal. We want a clean state, something that is based on the truth, so that when you die in your wickedness and move on, your children will have a sustainable community and society to live in. As a conversation to put in place a legal process and pathway that will navigate Nigeria and Nigerians out of the difficult and very confusing situation their poorly trained management team has put them in continues. NINAS, as usual, will remain very focused, determined to terminate the fraud of 1999 Constitution, to correct the mischief of 1914 in order to complete, in the case of Nigeria, complete the decolonization process going on in entire Africa. So today, we hope you help, understand our very unique role in ending the pain and sorrow of our people that are trapped in this caliphate British mess. So be reminded that it is the unitary constitutional order and the crooked federalism that incapacitated and caged us in this prison, not just the paper itself. Therefore, the pursuit by the Nigerian political elites to quickly get a new paper is a missed target and another show of their shallow thought process. They have left us hungry. They have left us disenfranchised. They have exhausted all of our minds and memory and every effort that we have left in us. So they think they can put anything in our, table, put anything in our front, and then we'll jump to it because we are tired, because we're exhausted, because we want a change. Do not go for the change that is brought to you by the same people that are holding you hostage. You can see it wouldn't work. Do not go for a change by the same people benefiting from your pain. Because as long as they have money to send their children all over the world, buy houses all over the world, you, the common man and woman, you guys are not on their priority list. You cannot, even in the midst of your hunger, be okay with not knowing what is going on. As long as you have gotten pregnant, you have impregnated a woman, you have given birth, you are a father of a child, whether you are in their life or you're not in their life, you must do the necessary research that is needed in order for you to understand what will be the absolute solution to the issues that we are facing at this point. So I will pull up our PowerPoint of the day while my sister adds. Please continue to help us to share and like.
Thank you so much. And by the way, our viewers, the opening statement that my sister gave about Nigeria being in a conundrum and 1999 Constitution lacking legitimacy and cannot be repaired because it's beyond repair was brought out by Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, top Nigerian politician and a lawyer. So that's why we keep telling you people that they know the truth.
They do.
Your political elites know the truth. Their bedfellows, church leaders, religious leaders, know the truth. It is their dishonesty that is making them behave as if they are deaf and dumb. Where is it now leaving you? You, the people. You, the people, because power belongs to the people. That is democracy. So you are not waiting for these dishonest people to do anything for you because they are roped in this iniquity. We need to move. Thank you.
Iniquity against humanity. These people are so mean, very mean-spirited, very wicked, and yet they are churchgoers. They pray every morning. They call on the Lord of the universe to come to their aid when they have purely wickedness in their hearts.
Wicked hearts. All of them, including your religious leaders,
So
especially the top ones, the ones that have bought private jets with your money and everything, and are using your money, the money for hospitals, for school, for road, to train their children abroad. So they will not help you. That's why we keep telling you, leave them alone. Stop serving them. Stop worshiping them. Seek your God in truth and honesty, and you will find him while he's still close. But if you continue to worship men, if you continue to worship agents of Lucifer, agents of darkness, in the name of my man of God, my God of man, you will be put to shame. You can see, when you talk against them, they will call police and DSS to arrest you. But they will not use the power that they
to
told,
arrest the situation that we're in.
yes, to arrest the situation that we are in. And they will not even use that power to arrest you, because if the power is working, and like they've told you, they're using the power to put fuel inside, put water, move car, put water inside car, and it will move. They use the power to make themselves, even when they are dehydrated after stooling for 24 times in one day, they are supposed to go into dehydration and go into something else. They are still strong, gidigam. That power, they cannot use it against you, that you're saying something against them. But they will go and restore back to their friends in the coven that they have set up, called Nigeria. The coven that they want to uphold. That's why we keep telling you, these people are not for you. These people are not for you. They are not even for the God that you think you're worshiping. And if you continue in this deceit, if you continue in this defense, what do we even call that thing? What's that thing that you defend people that are enslaving you? Syndrome, something syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. If you continue this, your Stockholm syndrome, this your disease of defending people that are molesting and destroying your children and your destiny, we will not be waiting for you. Just don't come on this Facebook wall. If you see Daughters of Truth, carry your disease and go somewhere else. Because if you come here, we will challenge you toe to toe. Go ahead, please, my sister.
My dear, have they seen anything yet? So NINA's proposition for a new constitutional order takes the center stage. So we want to use this opportunity to thank our food soldiers. Thank you for the work that you're doing with our young ones. We appreciate you. News, the message is getting across. So whether you're sleeping and you watch this show as usual, you hide it on your phone, you don't share, do not worry. The God of our ancestors is at work. He's going to do it with or without you. So don't think you have too much power. If you get this, instead of sharing it, you hide it on your phone and be like, those Daughters of Truth, I will not share them. Don't share. Our universe is taking charge. Our God is doing it.
Yes.
You are making headways with or without your efforts. Of course, we cannot move forward without reminding you guys in the estates, the dark constitutional estate that we live in, the estate of Usman Danfodio, that said that they will never allow you to rule over them or have control over your future. They will control you till you die. They will control you even when you go and wake up in the middle of the night. Ba, 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 ba. You can baba all you want. The hell will be unleashed on you. If you want a change, that is truly foundational, if you want a change that is truly life-changing, join our campaign. Any other nonsense that you're doing will bring you back to square one. Any other lies that you're telling yourself will bring you back to square one. And God forbid if you die before your time and leave your children in this mess. So our objectives today is to say no. The first one is to say no to sovereignty hijackers. The second one is the journey from slavery to freedom, how it all began. The national consensus. We know that the 1999 Constitution must go. And then, of course, we give you take-home points because we know a lot of our people, because of hardship, because of Ukembar, because of the lies that we've told ourselves for years, we don't understand things anymore. So we'll give you some take-home points. So at the end of the day, you can say, hey, if not for anything else, by the way, if you want access to these PowerPoints, let us know. We can forward it to you privately. We can send it straight to you so that you will understand exactly what we need to do to move forward. Say no to sovereignty hijackers. They are everywhere. We see them in form of church leaders. We see them in form of community leaders. We see them in form of mothers, fathers, what is it called? Political leaders, friends. We see them all. They want us to continue to work to our detriment while they will steal our sovereignty. They want to hold on to it because guess what? The Unitary One Nigeria is favoring all of them. Their life is thriving, their businesses are thriving, their children are thriving because they don't live in the so-called Nigeria. So they want to hold us down, make money, and lie to us about how our life can change. So we say no, no, and hell to the no to sovereignty hijackers. Whether they come in terms of, those that want to amend our constitution. Oh, yes, we have the power to amend the constitution. They lack the capacity to amend the constitution because they are not the people. They are not the constituents. Like my sister said earlier, power belongs to the people. We have not given them the power to give us any type of sovereignty that they think they can provide. But we want to say yes, yes, and yes to the constitutional renegotiation with sovereignty and self-determination restoration. We want to go the NINAS way. That's the only way. Any other person trying to jump the line, because all you guys like to jump the line because you're a Nigerian, you can never stand in line like any other person. You always have someone that will help you jump to the front. Whether in your degree pursuit or your business encounters, you guys always want to skip the line because in Makwanda, you're too big. If you want to do the right thing, you must follow the NINAS agenda. Our brother showed you that we have given clarity on who needs to do what people need to participate. There is no the confusion about it, unless, of course, you're a criminal. That's why it will be confusing to you. We'll continue with no to the sovereignty hijackers. We know that these sovereignty hijackers are those who want to bypass NINAS step 1 and 2, like I mentioned earlier, and jump to the third and the final step of constitutional making. With the huge diversity that we have in our land, they want to skip it and keep it how they are colonialists. The colonial monsters left us because guess what? They are the one benefiting them and their children. As always, they are benefiting. Life is good for them. They want to continue on the era of British and West colonial criminality because, again, they are puppets. They will sign treaties with distinct owners of ancestral land, then went behind them to colonize and rename their territories. We saw that in the case of the so-called Unitary Nigeria. You would think you're getting independence, you change your clothes, you'll be dancing. Go and watch the day our people got independence. They were dancing, rejoicing, happy that life is coming back to them. They don't know that they are going to stifle life out of every one of us. We saw the same thing happen in Berlin Conference of 1884, where they balkanized Africa. We saw it in amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914. They went on without talking to the people, the owners of the land, because that's what they do everywhere they go. They did the same thing in Guyana. There's a place called Guyana close to Venezuela. The criminal British enterprise came there, took the land that belongs to Venezuela and made it part of their own 200 years ago. And now Venezuelans want to take the land back because the land was said to have a lot of oil reserve. This is what these British terrorists did everywhere they go. And they're there parading as kings and queens. Eh? Everywhere they go, they will set fire and disappear. Actually, no. Set fire and reappear in the background while our brothers and sisters are in the front doing their biddings. They never left. And they keep doing this, telling us they are the good people. They're all about democracy. Demo people. They are all the democracy people. When they are all they're doing is stealing and causing mayhem everywhere they go. They continued on the era of Professor Ben Wabweze with the 1979 Constitution. There's you guys know about Rotimi Williams.
Rotimi Williams, yes.
Rotimi. But it sounds like what is that? Noodles.
Yeah. Yes. Remio.
Yes. A legal contractor that they recruited, which the man is a hungry lawyer, a lecturer that wanted to midwife or did midwife the imposed 1979 Constitution.
Yeah, that's Professor Nwabeze. So Professor Nwabeze then was just a hungry lawyer that was lecturing. So Rotimi, the legal contractor, recruited him because Rotimi cannot sit down and do this small job because he's the big guy, he's the contractor that will go and get the contract from the colonial monsters
and
give to the lecturer boy to come and write. This is Professor Nwabeze that they're celebrating, that saying, okay, he did this. He was just a hungry lawyer. So, and that's what they're still doing today. They will give you, you will do it, you will tie your people by your own self, which is what will tell people that this is neo-colonialism. Colonialism is the first one they did by themselves. By the time people said, oh, what are you doing? They moved away and brought neo-colonialism, where your own people will now be the ones tying you and holding you down. And there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, for a handsome reward, because Ben Nwabweze became the chairman of Union Bank. I'll allow you to continue.
It's sad, my sister. It reminds me of the guy that took money to sell Jesus out. What's his name?
Judas Iscariot. Yes.
Judas Iscariot.
Yes.
He thought he can take the money and take the background, backyard and run away, only for him to be right there. And he said, oh, take the money back. They said, get away from here. We don't want your money.
Exactly.
Because they are not to pick up who they want to pick up. They've been doing this all along.
The love of money.
The love of money.
The root of all evil.
The root of all evil. So this guy made sure that no court will be able to listen to any citizen when he made this law. He makes sure that any complaint that you do, especially against the government, will be against you. They will come and pick you up like they picked up our brother the other day as if he's the only one talking on social media. Because he's calling out
free speech.
Yeah,
they said there's free speech.
Yeah, they said there's free speech. They will pick up someone calling out criminals. Calling out criminals. That's all he's doing. And pastors are rejoicing and politicians are rejoicing that you pick up a citizen that you're just calling out all the things that you're doing wrong.
Because they're partners, like we said now. Check it. They will always, they are partners. We told you the politicians and the church leaders are partners against the people. Suppressing the people, suppressing truth, suppressing freedom, suppressing democracy, suppressing liberty. They are partners in crime. Once again, we have been shown that we are saying the truth. You have seen it. They have demonstrated themselves again. They will always demonstrate and tell you and support what we're saying.
If you keep living in one Nigeria will happen to you because there is no rule of law. They can wake up and send EDDFSS to your home and pick you up. And the same EDDS will be holding the other criminal on the other side that you're calling out.
Yes.
The same person.
And those are doing fake miracles. The DESS cannot trace them like they did in America when they went to Benny Hinn. This is America we're talking about. They followed the people that Benny Hinn said he was healing. The journalists in America did it. Go and check the video. They followed them up and went to verify. Go to hospital and check. What you say happened. Did it happen? And they found that it was not true. They went to Benny Hinn to interview him and show to the people Look at it. This guy is deceiving you. Do you still see Benny Hinn making people to fall down? That is a system where there's a system. And people are coming to say we don't have a system, that we need to put things right. No, what you do is to call your DFFS SSS to pick them and molest them and suppress them.
And yet you have power. You
Yes.
didn't use your power to strike him from your church and take him
No, no.
out.
Have you people seen what we're saying, our people?
Yeah.
We are vindicated.
Yes.
Daughters of truth are vindicated, and we will be vindicated even the more in the days ahead, because they will show themselves.
They keep showing themselves, my sister. They keep them showing themselves. When it comes to security, they will hire security personnel.
Yes.
And tell our people to believe in God.
Yes.
That God will do it for them.
And give our
when it
people
comes to striking at your enemies, instead of you to stay at the church and get the God of thunder to go and take the person out, you bring DSS, a human being, to go and do it for you.
And give our people anointing oil for protection and security.
Man, this era of Professor Mwabueze, make sure that no court is allowed to look into the events of 15th of January of 1966 to May 29th of 1999. There is 33 years of looting, stealing, and sharing of commonwealth of the people amongst themselves. They will give themselves oil block. They will do all kinds of stuff. Nobody will talk about the Asaba and the Igbo massacre. Nobody will ever talk about it. How many people were killed? Over 3 million people killed, and nobody's still talking about it. But every day we are bombarded with, Jewish genocide, this one genocide, Rwandan genocide, but nobody will ever talk about our genocide. A victory charter from Biafra genocide. That's what these our people did. In the name of ego, every time you see money, you will sell your people. You saw your brother Judas Iscariot, when he took the money, he thought he can get away with the money and nothing will happen to his Lord and Savior. And his Lord and Savior was crucified. That's what you guys been doing. You take the money and think you can go happy and way, only to leave your people in a dire situation. And our people are not waking up. I'll allow my sister to continue. Hello?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was trying to commend our father in the Lord. This one is real one, Reverend Salami. Thank you so much for what you're doing to get our people, to direct them to the right. These are the real men of God, because we have real men of God. We do. Anytime there's fake, that means there's a real one. Anytime you see anything fake, look for the real one. The real ones don't make noise. The real ones are humble, directing. They're like shepherd, directing to the people. The pain of the people affect them, and you will see them working hard to make sure that things are put right, doing what people say Nina said they should do. So we commend them. We know that there. Sometimes we don't demarcate, because we know that the real ones know that we are not talking to them, because they are not doing the things we're saying anyway.
No, they are not. You're not talking to them. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So we're talking about the errors that made us to say these are sovereignty hijackers. Errors in quotes, because we know that it's not really error, because they were bought over to do those things. So my sister has told us about the first error. The error they came from Britain, the West, the colonizers. They did it and then moved to the next one. There's a video that is going around where we talk about the pyramid of evil, where you have the colonial masters on top, then the local colonizers, the caliphates, and then before you now have the constitution, because they are above the so-called constitution. The constitution is only to suppress you. They are slaves. They are on top. Then before you have the government, before you now have the people. So the third error is error of Abdul Salam Abubakar, 1999, when he brought out the unitary constitution via Decree 24. What did he do by that? He simply rubber stamped the crime of Professor Ben Nwabweze and Chief Rotimi Williams. These people are our own people, by name and by skin color. But by their actions, they are not our people. So please, when you say, oh, it's not your own people that are doing that, no, they are not our own people. These are warrant chiefs, modern day warrant chiefs, recruited to do the biddings of the colonial monsters. So when you see them, we say identify them, criminalize them, and isolate them. We didn't say you should go and buy them. Keep them aside. They are cancer. The way you put cancer away, cancer cells, don't associate with them. Don't promote them. Don't hail them. If you see anything about them, just say, this one is cancer. I don't want it around me. Error number 4, the error of 2014 confab. The so-called confab that they did and told you that, oh, it's constitutional conference. Come, let's do it. They removed the main thing inside it and again gave our people fake. That's what they always do. When the people shout, they will say, okay, is this what you want? Oh, you want independence? Okay. They will remove pen, they will remove independence and give you pens. So if you say you want freedom, they will remove free and give you doomed. So we want our people to shine their eyes. Muranya Kazu. Shine your eyes. Nina is carrying torch. NINAS is carrying torch so that you will be seen. It's not the one that the more you look, the less you see. With NINAS, the more you look, the more you see. You will be seeing, you say, hey, whoa, is this what is going on? So the error of 2014, this confab that you hear Emeka and Yoku that are making noise about, they have already sold you out in it because they retained the crime of 2 and 3, the errors of 2 and 3 that we mentioned to you. They retain it. They refuse to visit the foundation of man-made poverty, decades of bloodshed and leaking resources. They refuse to go there. Rather, what did they do? They did over 600 amendments. How can somebody do over 600 amendments on a document and the document will still remain
legitimate?
It's like you see cloth, you do patch.
600 things.
Until we are not able to see the original material that you started with. Is that not like madness? Over 600 amendments on the 1999 military constitution. Are you kidding me? What are you amending? So what is stopping you from throwing away the document of Lucifer that you are patching it?
Because they're benefiting from it.
Exactly, because they're benefiting from it, like my sister said. They are benefiting from it, so they want to keep it. That's why your brother, Peter Obi, had to go to Caliphate to tell them, you see this 1999 constitution, and we keep it. But I'll go and drag the people and drag them into your slave camp. Make sure they stay inside because this 1999 constitution will stand. And we tell you, Peter Obi is not your friend. Peter Obi is not your friend. These are the yes daddy people. They work in cahoots with the religious leaders that are using to brainwash you. And then they use these people that we call them Judas goats to move you to where they will slaughter you. 5th error of Emeka Anyoku. This one is not going on. March 2024 is the one that bringing now that you're seeing everywhere flying around like, okay, Emeka Anyoku, what is he saying? He and his patriots of Ndimo are seeking to retain the unitary constitutional order. Please, the next slide, my sister. And bypass the peoples of Nigeria again, because it's about stealing and hijacking your sovereignty. So they must bypass you, the people. You, the indigenous peoples, they will bypass you because they want to steal, they want to hijack. So that's what Emeka Anyoku is doing again. He wants to jump, him and his friends, Ali Baba and the 40 thieves, want to jump NINAS steps 1 and 2 that you have to discuss with the people and produce another constitution that is not made by the people.
You know he was sent, right?
Of course, he's written now. We know them now. You see the finger. You see this one. I can see Esau's hand, but I can hear Jacob's voice, but the hand is Esau's hand. So we know that is representing Britain. Yeah, when you still see them speaking spirit, and they have been elevated, higher than normal, that they have the people that are working for. And they're not local
Yeah,
anymore.
handlers.
Yes, they're not local anymore. That's why you see even religious leaders, they are larger than life. You can't talk against them because they are gods. If you talk to them, bam, they get you because they have been elevated to be gods of the people. So these ones are also stooges of the colonial man. So they are above, they are higher, they are elites, they are educated, and they can speak Queen's English. Well, we are local people, we are indigenous, natives, but the land belongs to us. And we say, give us our land back. Stop stealing. That's what we're saying. We don't want to compete with you with your English. Queen's English. Sorry, Agaba. We just want our land, our resources. We want our people to live a meaningful life. So you could see another British Sokoto Abuja made constitution cooking. That's why they are cooking. And that's why they're distracting you with arrest here, visit of somebody in the court, somebody shouting like a lion inside court, and the empty lion without teeth, bulldog that cannot bite, criminal recruited to distract our people. All this will just
Especially every time something important is going on, they will whip them out.
They'll whip them out.
Whip them out to confuse the people.
So that the media, stupid media, will now be analyzing. Yes, what did you say? Did you say you stop security? Hey, no, I don't think you can do it. Oh, yeah, you say you stop it in 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. Here and there, pam, pam, pam. They'll go here. Thereby continuing the British Caliphate colonization. But NINAS seeks to terminate the fraud of 1999, that's amalgamation by Caliphate, and to correct the mischief of 1914, the amalgamation of Britain. You can look at NINA's 5-point agenda, you will get the details. So, facts about Nigeria. We have one enemy with 3 hits. One enemy, but coming at you from 3 directions. The 1999 Constitution, source of miseries and existential threats. 2, the Fulani conquest agenda enabled by the 1999 Constitution. 3, indigenous political class and their bedfellows, the religious leaders, aka willing tools. Of course, the social influencers are part of the willing tools because all these people are here to distract you while the political class rob you. So they enforce, the political class enforce the 1999 Constitution. So you see, one enemy, 3 hits, but they're the same. There's no difference. So we want our people to open their ears, open their minds, and follow this training, this teachings that we are giving. We come here every Saturday to give us so that you be well informed and nobody will bamboozle you. Nobody will tell you lies. You will follow the conversation. It's already going on. But power belongs to you. You are the one that will make this decision. That is why we come here. Say, no matter the noise you hear, when you hear dog barking, keep going. When you hear torch flickering, like we told you last week, keep going. When you hear them shouting, stop, keep going, because power belongs to the people. If you are informed, then you will defeat ignorance. You will defeat fear. You will defeat terror. You will walk boldly into your freedom, into your self-determination, which is your right. So we'll go to the journey from slavery to freedom, how it all began. The journey from slavery to freedom, how it all began. That means the steps of the peoples of Nigeria to self-determination and decolonization. We had to do this because we hear people jump out from one evil forest or from one beer parlor, from one place that they are one rehabilitation center, because all these people are mad people. Some that are holding in cocaine rehabilitation center, some are in alcohol rehabilitation center, some are in Urumiri rehabilitation center. They just whip out from somewhere and want to reinvent the wheel because we say Igbo nation. Everybody wants to shout Igbo nation. who say, self-determination, everybody is talking. We are breaking it down for so you know when the journey started. Step by step. It is an international thing, it's a global thing. Self-determination is not just where you sleep and wake up from your room and start shouting, self-determination, self-determination. There is a process, and you must have started the process following it. Why we are saying this is for our people being distracted. Ignorance is not an excuse. They will dupe you, take your money, take your time, waste your energy, and sometimes even lead you to extinction. They destroy you, they remove your head from your body because you are ignorant and you chose it. As of today, you don't have any excuse again to be ignorant about these things. That's why we come here as mothers, as sisters, to break these things down for you so that nobody will dupe you again. Nobody will dupe you again. 1960, what happened? Our people shouted because there was colonization. Since 1884-85, Berlin Conference, Balkanization, and 1914 amalgamation, all that is for them to colonize our people and steal their resources. Our people kept shouting, we want freedom. So 1960, they gave us fake freedom. They switched it from colonization to neo-colonialism, where your own people will become their puppets. So when you say our leaders, you don't have a leader. You have no leaders. Not yet, because you are not in freedom yet. You are a slave. A slave has no right to choose his leaders or her leaders. So it's only when you get true freedom, you can now begin to get those that will lead you. If you remain in slave camp, you are accepting slavery, and you cannot have the power or ability or the tool or the technology or whatever to get leaders that will lead you. So you don't have leaders yet. So you are not free yet. We are still in colonialism and neo-colonialism. Anything you see people doing like that, you are just celebrating yourself and dancing around inside the evil forest in the slave camp where you are. The next thing that the people did, we are telling you about the actions of the peoples, the indigenous peoples, the authentic indigenous people, not fake people that carried indigenous and added to their name. No. The authentic landowners, we are giving you the steps, things they have done over the years to get freedom for themselves, self-determination, to get themselves decolonized completely. Nadeko, you must have heard of Nadeko. If you have not, Google it. What did they do with it? They started by removing military. What they had in mind was to remove their fake, their sovereignty. A copy is not the real one, because we said that sovereignty belongs to the people. It cannot be taken away. However, they can superimpose something on top of your sovereignty that you're not able to exercise your sovereignty. There's one big English that my brother Tony Nadi uses. He says it's sovereignty. So it means that you have your freedom with you because nobody can take it away from you. But somebody imposed something else on you. It can be military, it can be colonialism, it can be anything, making you unable to exercise your right. So you are being caged. That's what it means. So as the people were saying, okay, what do? Let's take out this military. They started, but they did not finish because they gave them fake democracy, because they thought they removed military, but they still retain the document of military. You cannot remove military and still retain the document of military called the 1999 Constitution and say you have democracy. You don't have democracy yet. You tried, what happened was that the military removed their military uniform and wore agbada and then came back to the throne. So you have not finished the work. So people continued. We are giving you step by step so that you understand. Those of you that these people, because we told you, they will never cheat our people again. You see, we are here. We still down Gidigba. They will never cheat our people again. We will here to tell our people the truth. That's why we are daughters of truth. My people say no okoburu nti onwuchiri ya. If they dupe you, it's because you are gullible and you refuse to listen. We are here to break down the truth to you so that you understand the process and you will not be duped again. Pro-NACO consensus, that one happened 2005, 2006. Ethnic nationalities came together, still on the journey of self-determination because there are processes. MNN, Movement of the Peoples of Nigeria, you must have heard of that. These are all the steps. Abuja High Court, that one happened 2007, challenging the legitimacy of 1999 Constitution and seeking to terminate its operation step by step. It's a long time we started the journey and we are following it step by step. And every step is important. There's no step that you have to jump. You must climb one by one until you get to where you're going. Also, 2007, the document called UN DRIP, United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. It came out. It came from the undertakings in New York. It did not drop from heaven. Somebody did the work, and that came out. Lagos Declaration of 2011. That's another declaration that they did. Each of these meant something and is something important in the process. Solemn assemblies of the peoples of Nigeria in their ancestral land. Why on the ancestral land? You cannot, if Yoruba person is living in Australia, that cannot be your ancestral land. You're only visiting there. You might be a citizen, but that is not your ancestral land. You're not indigenous there.
You're a citizen inside your condo.
Exactly. Igbo person, you go to Ghana or go to even Lagos. It is not, you are not indigenous there. You are visiting there, you have to live by the rules they gave you there. But your own ancestral land is in Igbo. That is where you are indigenous. That is your own Garden of Eden. You will not go to Lagos and claim it and say it's free land. That one Nigerian mouth that you're using to say something abominable like that, causing trouble for us. So solemn assemblies were done between 2015 and 2018. Each of the block people, all the ancestral people, indigenous people, were on their ancestral land and they did solemn assembly. It's expected, it's something that is needed, and it was done. Then we moved to joint multi-regional Freedom Park proclamation. That one happened December 2018. Where were you people? You were busy jumping inside forest and carrying a machete, looking for freedom inside evil forest, where you have 10-headed demons. Yes, enwere ka esi eme. Ndị enwere ka esi eme. Enwere ka esi eme. You must do it. If you're cooking bitter leaf soup, you must follow the process so that you can have bitter leaf soup. Otherwise, you have bitter, there will not be soup. We are talking about journey from slavery to freedom, how it all began. We have broken it down for you step by step, and we're still going. 2018, that's where we have reached to. Okay, we move. International imperative. My dear, the next slide, please. We had undertakings in Washington, D.C. It started 2015, and then by 2019, it was concluded. What was the essence? To tie the hands of Fulani conquest machinery, to tie the lobbyists in US, because they carried Nigerian oil money, go to US, lobbying everywhere, lobby, changing narrative. Today they will tell you it's a headers farmers clash. Today they will tell you it's a jihad. Tomorrow they will tell all this to confuse the international people. So people needed to go there, sit down with them and break kola nut for them. Break it down for one hand. That move also helped to stop the collaborators, their collaborators from Middle East. There are some other details that you know that happened, that if you go and verify, you understand what we're saying. And these things happened. People made those things happen. They did not happen by themselves. It's not the one that some people will go to UN and tell the brother, carry suitcase, tell brother, send picture, send video, snap me, snap me and say, hey, they have gone to UN. No. Or you go to Israel, yeah, you go where they're praying, you turn around and say, you want to go video? Tinye the video. It's not photoshopping.
Chai.
This is not it. They will keep duping you if you're not paying attention to us. They will dupe you, and we don't want them to dupe you. So 2020, we had joint multi-regional constitution.
Hello? Uh-oh.
Okay, can you hear me? So it was 5-point proposition. From proposition, it went to agenda when we are now implementing the things that came out of this constitutional force majeure. So from 2011 till date, we have entered the implementation. Sorry, am I coming out?
Yes.
Okay, so it will move the implementation phase of constitutional force majeure. We continue. We will do transition into self-determination through two-stage procedure. Two-stage.
Oh my goodness. I'm on another screen. Is she frozen again? Choice.
I don't even know what is going on. Okay, I think I know. Let them leave the phone thing alone. I don't know why they're disturbing. We said you go through two-stage procedure. Una anoli haikulu. I talk am for Igbo. I talk am for Pidgin. I don't know what is going on. Now that I'm talking about this, they're attacking. Anyway, this two-stage procedure is broken into 3 steps. Let me hurry up before they come. Step 1, identifying we the people. Who are these we the people? Those people that we told you when we were telling you about the error of this, that the original constituent members of the defunct Federation of Nigeria, that for the longest time they put them, they sideline them, they bypass them. They say, go away, you're not part of here, just stay in one corner. Those people are we the people because they're the owners of the land. That's step 1. Step 2, multi-regional referendums. To get them, that's those we the people, to get them to recommit or not to recommit because it's their choice. Through voting, voting. One man, one vote. One woman, one vote. It's not Emeka Anyoku that will vote for you. It's not Obasanjo that will vote for you. Referendum, they have done it before in Nigeria. It's through referendum that they brought out Midwest. So it's not like they don't know what we're saying. They know. It's just that they are bypassing it. And we are saying, you can't bypass it. You see this water, you must drink it. It's either you surrender unconditionally or we defeat you comprehensively because we are the owners of the land. You must drink this water. So, and that voting we are talking is not INEC voting, no, as in Guinea. It's not INEC voting, it's not INEC. You're not using INEC instrument because INEC came from 1999 Constitution. So you're not going to use anything that came from 1999, whether National Assembly. That's why we say 1999 Constitution. Ibiam. Throw everything plus everything that came from it and is inside it, everything go because we did not make it. There's no way we will be the author of our damnation. There's no way we will write something that will destroy our people. We did not make it. If it's killing us, it means we did not make it. Because we're not stupid people to go and make something that will kill our people. We're not Ben Wabweze. That's after that referendum, they will have a written agreement and commitment. It's called Charter of Relationship to building a nation, if that's what they want. You see the steps? So it's after you have done all this, you now go to terms of the union. You now say, in what formations? Is it 5 region, 6 region, 8 region, 10 region? How do we want it? What are the responsibilities? What style of government? Is it parliament? Is it this? Is it this? Stating the extent of autonomy or control. That is stating that we must do for ourselves, like stating what we must do for ourselves and what the center or the union will do, if that is the case. And put all these agreements, everything that we are saying together into writing. That is how you get a new constitution. Now,
My dear, the church, you would think the church will be embracing this and saying, yes, yes, this is the Lord's work. Religious leaders, they're running from it. The one thing that will give our people true freedom, they're running from it. Oh, I forgot. It will destroy their business empire. What the heck? Right.
So that is how it is. That's the journey, and that's where we're going, and that's what we'll get to, because that's our target. National consensus. We are telling you that they have all agreed that 1999 Constitution lacks legitimacy. Anyoku, Emeka Anyoku is saying this. Olani Beku San, he says, Nigeria has no constitution to amend as the people never made any. So these things, we're telling you that everybody is agreeing. Nigeria
And this
doomed.
is on March the 20th, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Exactly.
So this wasn't 1999.
No. So, and then Nigeria is doomed without a new constitution. Adebanjo, Nwachukwu, Atta, Showolu, governor of Lagos State, all of them. So we have reached a national consensus. We have all said we don't have constitution. We never made any. And if we don't have constitution, that means we never had a union. What we had is quasi something. So if you see the next slide, so that we can show you graphics, we're trying to finish up. The next slide, Domino 2, you can see what we told you at the beginning. Last year, we told you the election will go down as a result of this fake constitution. Then the fake constitution itself will go down, and the union will go down because of the fake constitution. And bringing us to where we are. NINAS is right. NINAS is right. All the predictions, right. All the movement, right. All the outcomes, right. Because so whether you like it or you don't like my sister said, NINAS is right, and we move. Transition for union reconfiguration. That is the next. The only thing these fake people can do for themselves is gather themselves and chara inuzo.
Yeah, take the stolen money and keep it moving so you can create another one. Keep it,
Pack
get
yourself
out.
Now it's early. Pack yourself out, because if you don't surrender unconditionally, we will defeat you comprehensively.
Yes. Our brother Isimomo will say, up NINAS, yay! And David Salami said, glory, hallelujah. This is the church up in here.
Yes.
We are having our church on Saturday. There you go.
Yes.
NINAS is right.
NINAS is right.
All the way through, NINAS is right.
I'll allow you to finish, right?
Yes.
Second points.
All the way to heaven we are going, because the God of our ancestors is at work. He has done the work. Yes. So what exactly is the problem? Here. I had to answer it. The Constitution. What needs to be done? We must put it down completely. So let's not use the big words. Pull it down completely. So don't go and be sharing link. Oh, bring your recommendation, bring your comments, bring your whatever, so you can go and amend it. You cannot amend a fraud unless if you're a criminal. And when should we be doing this? Immediately, like yesterday.
No.
Yesterday, Seth. So no authorization is needed from anyone, not from Jesus Christ of Nazareth, not from Allah, not from Supreme God himself. You are in charge of this. And then the constitutional force majeure has been done by the people. So all the things that is needed to to set stage before today has been put in place. So join the music, join the moving train. Understand what where we're going and how we're going to get there. The ultimate global instrument defines our right as the right to self-determination, y'all. Right to self-determination. You decide by yourself. Self-determination. The constituent component nations of Nigeria will decide whether they want to be sovereign state entities of their own, or if they want to be in union through self-administered multi-regional referendums. It's a no-brainer. Up NINAS. So what is the extent of this autonomy? We could end up with 100% autonomy, separate nations. We could end up with 80% autonomy, meaning confederation with a designated union office, or 60 to 65 autonomy, which is through federalism. They want more to be done by the federation. That's if you want more to be done by the federation. And we have examples of this. For 100% autonomy, we have states, examples of federation, like in
yeah.
US, yes. In these states have constitution, like in Texas, we have our own constitution. The states, they do have their own national guard, an autonomous military force that is an independent army that safeguards the state. So we are like a little nation inside a nation. The people will defend themselves if they feel any danger or threat from even the federal government. That is called self-determination. Not too long ago, Texas sued the federal government and wanted to be able to prosecute illegal immigrants. So it's in the I think it went through Supreme Court. Supreme Court sided with Texas, and now is going back to lower courts. Because the federal government is challenging the recommendation. So these are the things you'll be able to do if you are truly a federation. It's a no-brainer, people. We have identified the problem. We have given you what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. There is clarity as to how we're going to get to a destination. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Quickly for our announcements. NINAS proposition, we have it here. I'm not going to run through it because we sort of mentioned it line by line today throughout the show. Yeah. This is the way out. This is the way out, people. We must give everybody, including the tiniest nation, the tiniest group, we must give them the right to participate in the self-determination process. And then, of course, our announcement, please listen to our sisters. She is writing articles. If you get in all of these things you're not sharing, you are part of the problem. That one will not blame it on British colonial monsters. That will be you. If you are getting this information, you're not sharing it among your friends, among your peers, among your whatever, then you are the problem. And of course, on Twitter, on Tuesdays, our Twitter day. And if you want to learn more, brothers and sisters, we have plenty of videos online to get you going. So until next week, we've passed our time. We shall return. Please take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.